Hey everyone, welcome back to another Minecraft video. I hope that everybody is having an absolutely fantastic day. And today, we're actually playing on the Bedrock version of Minecraft instead of the Java version. And we're going to be building my 1.18 mob farm. It's an all-purpose mob farm. You'll be able to kill pretty much everything in this mob farm, except for witches. If you guys have an alternative killing method for witches, by all means, you guys can go ahead and share that in the comments below. But there is some changes when it comes to Bedrock, and I am very new to Bedrock, and I thought I would actually just experiment a little bit, and I was able to come up with a fix for the people that play on Bedrock if they want to be able to implement it on the Bedrock version instead of the Java version, because the redstone changes are just slightly different. But for the most part, the farm remains the same. So if you guys came over from the Java edition, welcome. If you guys didn't and are playing on the Java version, then go ahead and click the link down in the description and you'll be taken over to that video if you guys need to. Now, there's a couple things that I want to be able to ask the Bedrock players here quickly before we actually get into the build itself. And that is, there's a couple things that I would like to be able to have here in Bedrock. And number one is Optifine, or something similar to Optifine that's available for Java. It allows me to push my C key here on the keyboard, and I'll actually zoom in on my face. And there's also some other settings that allow just a better overall experience for Minecraft. If you guys have access to something like that or program like that, how do I download it? Where do I find it? And what is it called? Leave a comment down below. And the other thing is F3. Why doesn't F3 work on Bedrock version? Like giving your light levels, kind of gives you, it shows you like your frames, what version you're actually playing on, what the resolution is. There's a whole bunch of other information that I'd like to be able to have access to. So how do I do that? Or how do I just add plugins or data packs in general to the Bedrock version? Is it even possible? Is Fabric available? Is Forge available? Please let me know in the comments down below. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the build itself. Now, I don't know exactly all of the different materials because I have a resource pack that actually allows me to actually take a schematic of it that allows me to actually identify what materials are needed. However, you're just basically going to need a ton of slabs and a few of the stone, like smooth stones. It doesn't matter which one you use. It could be any block. It could be cobblestone slabs, whatever. And then you're going to need some campfires, and then you'll need 12 dispensers, 12 observers, and then just a couple pieces of redstone for the very top. And then you'll need an infinite water source very close to where you're going to be working with, and lots of buckets because you'll need that as well. So let's go ahead and kind of get started for you guys. So the first thing that we're actually going to go ahead and do is just light up the very base, kind of around the bottom of the mob farm, because we don't want anything to spawn at the very bottom here. And then you want to just go ahead and build up wherever your center is going to be. So we'll just call it right about there. Sounds good. Now what you want to do is you just want to build out about 5 blocks from the center. So we got 2, 3, 4, and 5. Possibly 5. And then we want to do that in all directions. And then you want to make that as a square around the center. And I don't know if it's me or if it's just Bedrock in general, but for whatever reason, it's really hard for me to get exact placement on the blocks here in Bedrock version. I really don't understand it, but it's kind of weird. Now at the very center, you want to create a farm, or basically a centerpiece that looks like this. It's 3 opening. And then what you want to do is you want to come down a couple. So you're going to come down like there. And then you're going to go ahead and put a bottom slab here, and you're going to basically recreate this ring so you have that 3x3 opening once again. And then we want to break that one, and then place that one back, place that one back. And then from here, what you want to do is take whatever your campfires are going to be, soul campfires or regular. I like the soul ones for the farm just because they're a little bit less in light level, so you can guarantee that you're going to have the low enough light level that you're going to need for the farm. And then down below, you can get rid of all your temporary blocks. And then you're going to place, at the very front here, you're going to place 5 hoppers facing downwards. And then you're just going to create a line of hoppers in the back. We'll go ahead and connect all of those up and make sure that they're actually facing into each other. So their tails should be facing in. And then you don't need ones in the corner ones. But this one needs to come back to the very back here, and then this one needs to come back to the very back as well. And then that one only needs to go to there, and I can placed one facing down there, which not exactly what I want to do. And then what you can do is come around to the front here, and you can place in your chests here, just like that. And if you want bigger storage, then by all means add whatever you need to and change it up and modify it to whatever is going to be fit. But this is just for the tutorial here. Then what you want to do is the corner ones, you want to go ahead and build up, because you're actually not going to need those blocks at all. And we don't want anything to actually go ahead and spawn in there. So just go ahead and place those in. And then from here, you actually want to go out just one and then cover that in, so nothing can escape, like baby zombies or spiders or anything like that. So you're going to come out one additional one and then build it down, and you only need to build it down two. So basically your design should kind of look like this. So if you have nothing here, which is fine, you're basically now at this point going to come out 10 blocks. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And you're going to do that from the middle of each of the areas. Now we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Just like that. And then you want to connect them up diagonally. So from whatever two corners you want, or points that are sticking out, just kind of go a diagonal pattern all the way back. You want to do this on all four sides and then fill in the entire thing, making sure that you are using top slabs so that the water will actually flow the way that it should. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So now that you have completed your platform, this is what your floor should look like. Now, I did previously misspeak and I told you guys to actually go out 10. I meant to say to only go out 9. So the entire platform should be 11 total blocks long. So if you did that and went out 12 blocks like I misspoke before, just go ahead and destroy the outer ring, because you'll need to get rid of that. Now, at this point in time, we actually want to go and focus on the outer ring, and we're going to go up 3 on the entire outer ring, and then also put another 3 blocks right here. So we'll just go ahead and put 3 all the way up on the outer ring, and on the inner ring, we're actually only going to go up 2. So outer ring is 3, and the inner ring is 2, and you're going to repeat this entire process all the way around. So go ahead and do that right now. So this is what it should look like here. We have an outer ring of 3 high and then an inner ring of 2 high. And this is where we're actually going to go ahead and use our infinite water source and our buckets of water. In any place that actually has a 2 block high, you're going to want to go ahead and place a bucket of water. And then you just want to do this around the entire outside of the farm, making sure that nothing actually goes to the campfire. But with the build going 11 out, it should work just fine. Now that you've placed all the water sources in, this is what it should look like, with no flowing water to the campfires at all. Now you're going to want to grab some temporary blocks and just go up a few, making sure that there's enough space so that mobs can actually go down into the campfires itself. And you want to be able to build up from the very center. Now you can delete those temporary blocks and then just go ahead and place in a slab that creates the center, and then the slab in the center, and then go out 7 from there. So basically from the very center of the farm, you're going to count out 7, and if you go from the include the center block, it's actually going to count out 8. So let's just go ahead and kind of do that right now. So we got we're not going to count this one, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the next one's going to be 7. And then we want to do that on all 4 of the sides. So we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we also need to do it from this side here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then we also need to do it from this side as well. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then what we want to do is create the diagonal. So oops, and I forgot to put a 7th one right there at that point. So let's go ahead and do that right now. And then you want to do the diagonals kind of like what we did down below. And then you want to fill the entire thing in as well. So go ahead and finish that up right now, and we'll be right back. Now this is what your platform should look like now that you've completed it. You got the same pattern like it was down below. And then at the very center, what you want to actually go ahead and do is just place in a couple of temporary blocks. Now you guys can choose to do this as many levels as you want, but I'm actually going to go up and do 12. And then what's really weird about the Bedrock version is when I try to place a dispenser facing down, I can't do that when I'm on the same level it is. So just go ahead and break out one of the blocks and then just go ahead and put a dispenser facing downward. This is where the redstone gets a little bit different with the Bedrock version compared to the Java version. And then at this point, what you guys actually want to do is have a observer facing down just like that, with the face facing up, and then the redstone signal will actually go through into the observer. And we ultimately just want to repeat this entire process all the way up. Let's fill in the floor so we don't forget about that at all. We don't want to ruin our campfire at all. And then the top of the observer right here is going to be your next platform. So you're going to have a dispenser facing downward, and then you're also going to have a observer facing downward, but it's basically you just have to get kind of underneath of it in order to do that. And then we want to extend out 7 from the very center, and then you're going to replace this block here with a dispenser, and then the next one up would actually be an observer. So just build a couple temporary blocks up from there, delete that one, and observer right here, and then do that as many times as you would like. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that right now. All right, so when you guys are all finished with all of your 12 platforms, this is what it should look like. And at the very top, we should have an observer facing upwards, and then the dispensers right here. You also want to make sure at this point in time, you put in water buckets in all of your dispensers, and I would recommend lighting up the platforms just in case you need to do any prior maintenance to starting this farm, but it's completely up to you. So I'll let you guys decide if you want to put the torches in the farm or not. But once you guys have placed all the buckets of water in each of those dispensers, then we should be able to continue and build out our platform and our roof at the very top. So you're going to do that at the very top right with the observer right here. And what you want to do is go out 17 in each direction. So we got 1, and then we're not going to count the observer. We got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Now, you do want to do this on each direction. It doesn't really matter which way you go next. And then you want to make sure that you go at the diagonal pattern like we were doing earlier, and then fill in the entire thing as well. Now, if you want to go out an additional 4 blocks to guarantee a light level, I have tested this a few times on the Bedrock and the Java edition, and the 17 blocks out does actually work okay. All right, now that you completed your roof, this is what the top of it should look like. Now, we are using top slabs, so things can actually go ahead and spawn here. So just be well aware of that, and we're going to put torches at the top. But you can see all the mobs that are already starting to spawn, and you can see that with 17 blocks, we're actually getting, it looks like 2 zombies together right there, and they're actually spawning right at the edge of the platform. They're not moving, so we can actually see right where they're spawning at. The spider that is actually moving spawned right at the tip of it as well. So 17 blocks as a roof should be completely fine, but if you want to extend it out a few more just to guarantee your low dark levels, or just to make it darker in general, then by all means go ahead and do that. Yep, and I was right, there is 2 zombies sitting right here. Anyway, let's go ahead and kind of finish up the very top of it, because we don't need to actually deal with anything down below. So right now is where we actually want to go ahead and work on our redstone mechanism in the very center. So let's go ahead and grab all of our redstone supplies. We are ultimately going to be building a etho hopper clock, or just a hopper clock in general, and we're going to go ahead and put 48 items into that hopper clock as well. So on the top of this observer, as soon as you place something down here, it's going to go ahead and set it off. You want a repeater just like that. Again, it's going to set everything off, and that's fine. You want a redstone block on either the right or the left, it doesn't matter. And then you want a sticky piston here and a sticky piston there. Behind that, you want to place a dust, and then you want a full block next to that dust just like that. And then we want to go ahead and use our comparator facing outward into that block, and we want to do one there and then one there. And then at the next point, we're going to grab our hoppers, and then you need to put one down and then face it into it, delete the first one, and then face it into each other. And then you actually have the tails touching each other, and now that they are connected. Now at this point, we're going to go ahead and throw in our 48 total items into the hopper clock, and that will allow us to go ahead and reset the signal every 48 seconds. If you want a longer delay so that more mobs will actually go ahead and spawn, then you definitely can go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and place a lever right here just to be able to turn off the farm, just in case we need to do any maintenance. But the one thing that I have noticed with the Bedrock version compared to the Java version, and I don't know how to fix this, so if somebody does, please let me know in the comments down below, but only some of the platforms will actually disengage the water or will keep the water engaging. Because every time that for whatever reason when the observers get touched by the water, it sends a weird signal, and it can be completely random which platforms will stay with water and which platforms won't. So go ahead and kind of work on that right now, and we're going to go ahead and move on to our next step right now. And that is, we want to go ahead and place down a few torches so that nothing will spawn at the top here, because this is all spawnable platforms, but we don't need a ton of torches up here just because of the new light levels that are required for mobs to go ahead and spawn. And then we also want to go ahead and build up a AFK platform from the very center of the build, and you want to do it from the hopper. So the hopper will be the very bottom, and the max that you would want to go up is 128 blocks from there. So I have actually AFK'd for only about 5 minutes, and these are the drops that I was able to get from this farm only after about 5 minutes or so. So it's doing rather well. So just go ahead and check that out. Wait, we got a trident guy right here with a nautilus shell. How kind of you. I kind of wish that I was playing survival right now, to be completely honest, because I could really use that. But anyway, that is everything that I wanted to be able to go over with this farm, and this farm is complete. You didn't even have to actually put in the AFK. That is a very strange sound. I've never heard that before. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure that you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe down below. It would help me out a lot and is greatly appreciated. But until next time, YouTube, you guys keep doing what you're doing because you're doing it, and you guys stay gaming.